Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for today's video as I stand firmly in this era of delicate, feminine, soft, cozy fragrances for spring for me. We'll get back to heavier fragrances in the fall. And by the way, I have some amazing summer videos lined up for you that I don't think they fall in any of this category that I'm about to talk about. Anyway, as we stay here in the spring warm months, moving into early summer, I want to give some attention to musk as a note in fragrances and particularly lighter musks for spring. There's all kinds of musks that are to be explored in perfumery. There are heavy thundercloud, ominous musks, animalic musks that smell like interesting things. There are musks that are a little bit heavier and play in different ways depending on what other accords they were blended with. There are light, wispy, very polite, fluffy musks that are barely like skin scentish, smell like fresh out of the shower. The family of musk that we're going to stick in is over on this end, better for spring and summer. And I have to tell you, I'm going to start off with a fragrance that I actually added to cart and I need your opinion on this. So, so good. I ended up not pulling the trigger because I wanted to ask your thoughts first. Sometimes sampling something is very different than, or significantly different than when you get the bottle. So I ordered Blanche Absolue by Byredo, and with the package came this enormous bag of little mini fragrances. And this one was among them. I had already looked at this on Scent Split anyway. And so I was like, well, isn't that something that it arrived here? And this is the cutest little bottle. The full bottle looks like this as well. Look at this. Isn't this stinking cute? The brand, I believe, is pronounced Courrèges, and the fragrance is La Fille de l'air, which I think means the girl of the air. I don't know if that means a girl floating in the air, but it literally translates into like the girl in the air, I believe. And so I love these little pinky bottles. It is not the original bottle. It's a new bottle that the brand is using, or new style of bottle that the brand is using across its fragrance line. I have been testing this out and I think I really, really like it. The part I'm unsure of, just to be clear, is that it opens with neroli. Neroli is a note that I used to love a lot. And then now I'm just kind of so-so about it. You know, I don't mind it in fragrances. I don't feel like it's very pronounced in here at all, but you do get that sort of bright, almost like a neroli can be like a concentrated citrus smell along with bergamot. And then it's mostly this musk fragrance with a little bit of woodiness and an orange blossom note. And it has this very soft second skin nature, like fresh out of the shower, but you've started to warm up. So you get a little bit of skin smell with it as well. Slightly floral, a little tiny bit bitter from that neroli. The neroli sort of calms down into the middle. I feel like it evolves. So my question to you, if you have tried this fragrance, is what does it end up like? This is an actual dabber bottle. And so, you know, it's different than actually spraying it on. And so I'm concerned that I'm not getting like the full experience of this. Let me know. So I want to give this an honorable mention because I think it's really very pretty, very easygoing, very second skin, like fresh out of the shower nature. And it smells like the bottle looks, right? It's like this pinky, musky nature to it that I think is lovely. Let me know your thoughts on this. The full bottle here, I think it was, is something like 185. I forget the exact price. So I want to make sure that I'm going to enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts. Honorable mention. Let me start with three that I have raved about probably for several years now and get those out of the way and then talk about some newer ones. I'm still in love with these and they deserve all of the attention that I give them. This first one doesn't get enough hype, I don't think. In fact, I feel like when it came out, it was ignored. I even almost ignored it just on sampling, bought like a travel spray, sprayed it on and thought, okay. And then actually wore it and got lots of compliments on it and became in love with it myself. So this is Pear Ink from Juliette Has a Gun. Quite lovely. For me, this fragrance is about two things. It is about a fresh pear that, like, think about just slicing a fresh pear where it hasn't completely ripened and gotten into super sweet, juicy territory yet. It's edible, but it's a little bit more on the crunchy side. Think about that kind of pear. You've just sliced into it, and it has this beautiful, sweet freshness. It's sweet and fresh at the same time. And this has that sort of molecular nature to it from an ambroxan note and also musks in the fragrance, different kinds of musks. And so the combination of that shows up really beautiful for other people. It's fresh, it's inviting, it's a bit of a playful musk. While still being appropriate for work events, I have taken this with me and sprayed it on for actual work meetings and gotten compliments on it. It is very easygoing, easy breezy, crowd pleaser. Smells so good in the air. Has a little bit of generic perfumey undertone as well. I think it's delightful, really beautiful. kind of like a half day wear fragrance. I don't think this lasts the whole day on me, but I really enjoy it. People either get the next fragrance or they don't. I didn't get it at first, and then I did. Like, when you get it, you get it. This is Musk Therapy. Yes, it's been hyped year after year as a fresh spring and summer fragrance for good reason. It is another one of these sort of easy breezy, so pretty, easy going, light, bright, fluffy, maybe not fluffy, maybe wispy is a better word, citrus musks. That's what you get here. There's sandalwood in the base. I think that adds a little oomph, a little foundation for the fragrance to stand on, so it's not just completely sort of wispy in the air, but this is delightfully citrus, and so the citrus comes across clean and bright, nearly effervescent in the fragrance, and then like a wispy musk. And that's it. It's very clean, nearly shampooy in nature. When you wear this, you're going to smell fresh. So this could have easily been in the video that I posted maybe a couple of weeks ago at this point. I think it was titled Ultra Luxe Clean Fragrances. This is an Ultra Luxe Clean fragrance while being one of the easiest among the bunch. Super duper wearable, nice for work events. I've worn this to many work events with no problem. Not imposing, doesn't bother people around you so long as you don't like overspray. And it stays soft to me, soft to the skin, but has good longevity. Perhaps one of my favorite long-standing musk favorites of all time. I've gone through several bottles of this at this point. This is from Clean Reserve. It's called Skin. I've been talking about this thing for years. I had it when it was in the smaller purple bottle, and now I have this larger reserve version. So the Clean Reserve version. This is so beautiful in the most like diminutive of ways, in that it really does smell like a Your Skin But Better fragrance in the literal sense of the term. This is a fragrance that gives your own skin some warmth. It's almost like the warmth and saltiness of your skin, like a touch of saltiness, and your skin warm up together along with some kind of sweet note. There's praline and perhaps some other notes in the fragrance that give it a touch of sweetness, but it's like ever so slight sweetness with this almost like musky, ambery warmth. There's something really sensual about the way that this plays off of skin. It stays soft and light on the skin, but it lingers. It's like that lingering, just beautiful nuzzle up into your skin kind of scent. The sweetness here is undeniable, and there's like a warm, like I said, warm, ambery kind of musk tone to this that I think is just fantastic. Been through multiple bottles. I don't think I can be without this fragrance. It's one that has made it through declutter after declutter after declutter and will just probably never go anywhere. Clean Skin. I'm going to move next to Andrea Maack, and I really debated whether I wanted to talk about Ceramic, which is one of the most amazing, beautiful, soft, powdery, musky, delicately floral fragrances in all of the universe that also has like a clean edge to it. Definitely check out Ceramic if you haven't yet, but I rave about that fragrance a lot. So I wanted to give some attention to its sister in the lineup that maybe has a little bit more coolness to it, but is coolness as in like Ceramic has a warmth to it. Skin has a sensual warmth to it. This fragrance has a bit of an aloof coolness to it, and that is soft tension. This is another one that is on recommendation from Jackie Sassfi, Hey Girl Hey, out in Arkansas. She recommended this in a video. I had tried it and not paid any attention to it, but because we have such similar, like overlapping tastes, I decided to take a risk on this in the So Avant-Garde sale and order the actual full bottle. There's freesia and moss at the top. I don't really feel like I get anything in the moss direction, but I do get a prominent freesia note, mate absolute in the heart, and then musk and cedarwood in the base. So this has very clean, sophisticated lines to it. For me, it's primarily a cool musk fragrance. If I didn't know what the notes were, I would think that this had some kind of soapy note and purple floral notes alongside the musk. It doesn't have a warmth to it. It stays fairly cool and aloof. It reminds me almost of like a fog in morning air where the sun hasn't come up yet, or you can't see the sun rather, but it's light outside and you're walking through this humid fog. There's a coolness to it, maybe a little bit of a metallic tinge in the air. Imagine that in like a perfume form with some muskiness and a cool bit of a metallic edge that freesia can sometimes have. Freesia can come across a little soapy in perfumes. It can come across a little metallic. It can have another kind of sort of nuance in other types of fragrances, but here it comes across very cool, slightly metallic, and aloof. It's very aloof fragrance, but there's also like this melancholy beauty to it, soft tension. Check this out, and definitely check out Ceramic. Ceramic. Of the two, I think Ceramic is my favorite of the two, but this is equally beautiful and interesting and worth checking out. Unique fragrance. I think I've tried like 3 or 4 from this house. Let me know if you have any favorites that I should definitely try out. This is from Obvious Parfums and it's called Un Musk, Un Musk. And so what I understand about the lineup that looks like this is that they all feature a prominent note. And in this case, musk is it. And it is a very clean, fresh musk with a touch of citrus, and it has this like playful warmth to it. It's not quite as warm and it's not sensual like Skin is. This one has like a clean warmth to it. Very much a second skin fragrance. Not very long lasting. This is maybe a half a day fragrance. I have given it a good wear. And when you spray this on, you just smell like yourself, but fresher and better. There isn't anything super pronounced about this musk. It's maybe the most minimalistic type of musk in the lineup today. Doesn't feature anything in particular. Has a tiny bit of citrus, as I mentioned. I think ginger is a note, but all of that is sort of like barely detectable. It's almost just like a your skin, but better, easy musk, like a very soft layer after you shower. Delightful, really, really easy. There's nothing complex about this fragrance. This is a white t-shirt and jeans fragrance all day, every day. Worth checking out. Let me know what else from the house you think is worth getting my nose on. I do think this next one has a sensuality, but more in a youthful way than Skin, which feels a bit more, a tad more mature to me. And I've really come to enjoy this. This is Glossier You Fleur. And so I didn't expect to like this fragrance as much as I do. It was a blind buy in the Sephora sale. And oh wow, is it just like right up my alley? It smells to me a tiny bit like I think it's called Amber Vanilla from the Seven Virtues. And I considered putting that in this video as well, but I really associate that more with fall and early winter. And it has more of a woody, sandalwoody kind of base to it than this one does, which is more prominently musky in the same way that Glossier U is, if you've tried that. Glossier U is more in the iris direction. This one leans more sweet with an apricot note. I think it's actually apricot skin in osmanthus, which is a floral note that mimics the smell of like a sweet central apricot. This also has a soft woodiness. It does give almost like sweet pencil shavings in a similar way that Glossier U does, except it's a little sweeter in here. Very feminine, your skin but better fragrance. The muskiness here is not intimidating at all. It is very soft, very palatable, very wearable. And I don't feel like I get a lot of longevity out of this. For me, this is another sort of 4 to 6 hour wear, but there's something really delightfully sweet and intoxicating about this number that keeps you coming in close for a sniff. So I'd love to know if you have tried this, and if so, what were your thoughts? Now, I will say if you tried this in store, like you went into a Sephora, for example, and tried it, I'm gonna say you may not have gotten the full scent experience because it's competing with all of those other fragrances that people are spraying. This is one that needs to be enjoyed in quiet, like an evening fragrance or an early morning with your cup of coffee or your cup of tea, or like a bedtime scent, something like that. Really sort of a under your robe or under your sweater where you want to feel warm and cozy and have a little bit of that tender sweetness that an osmanthus or an apricot note can lend to a fragrance. Delightful. I wasn't super enamored with this fragrance when I first got it, and I think it was a victim of too much hype, TMH. And as I've played with it here, there, and everywhere, I've enjoyed it more. I still think it's a little bit overhyped, but it is really super delightful. We're talking about L'Eau Papier from Dyptique. So I get more of the sort of rice, I think it's a sesame note, but like a rice nuance in this fragrance that folks were talking about. It actually smells rather sandalwood-ish to me, like a drier sandalwood versus a creamy sandalwood. And it's like that sandalwood serves as like a podium upon which this super fluffy musk sits, and something in the neighborhood of a rice note. It smells a little bit sweeter to me now than it did before. So I do also want to say I have tried Ella K, Musk K, I think it's called, and I think a couple of other fragrances that all for me smell very similar to L'Eau Papier. Let me know if you agree, and here's why. I've only sampled Musk K. I mean, people rave and rave about Ella K, Musk K. I thought it was nice, but it harkened me back to this. This also harkens me back to the Glossier U line, except this particular Fleur version has that sort of fruity, sweet softness from that apricot osmanthus thing going on. This lacks that. This is more in the woody direction, more of like a rice steam with something like a fresh lotion smell, but it is delightful. I see why people enjoy it. I still think it's super duper hyped up. Heck, maybe I'll be one of the people hyping this up soon too. Like, are people still wearing this? Because you know how it goes in the fragrance world. You hear about a fragrance for, I don't know, 3 months and then people just forget about it. So let me know if people are still rocking Low Papier. Definitely check this out. I do want to try even more from Dyptique. I've been to one of their boutiques. I've tried a bunch, but you know how that is when you're trying things among others. You don't really get a good sense for it and they're all competing and you can't really enjoy the individual fragrances because of that. But anyway, this is delightful and does belong in this category. I'm not a huge fan of the bottles of the next one that I'm going to show you, but I have tried many of the fragrances from Trish McEvoy. I have 3 in my collection and would love to have a few more, despite the goofy triangular bottles. This one is called Goldnine. This is so good if you like a bright musk. So this one could probably compete with Musk Therapy and is a tad more sophisticated. Musk Therapy is a bit thinner in texture. This one, I feel like, I wonder if it has some vanilla. I'll look up the notes in a minute. This one is a little bit more golden in nature, and in that sense, the bottle is appropriate for it. I feel like it has a little bit more body than Musk Therapy, which stays a little bit lighter just in terms of the texture of the fragrance. Nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. This one, the Trish McEvoy, has more density. The only notes called out on the website are bergamot, jasmine, and musk. I don't really distinguish jasmine in particular, but more so like a floral heart with a beautiful surround of a bright, happy, golden citrus. It's so lovely. The musk is a little denser. While it doesn't list vanilla as a note, I feel like it has some vanilla in the fragrance as well to add to the texture of it, perhaps even a little bit of amber. And it does feel like a golden, opulent, musky fragrance on your skin. So if you enjoyed Musk Therapy, but wished that it had more substance, a little bit more thickness to it, perhaps a little bit more density, give Gold 9 a try from Trish McEvoy and let me know what you think if this sort of scratches the itch that you were looking for with Musk 9. Delightful. And it's dripping on me. Sorry about that. Gotta clean her up. So anyway, give this one a sniff. I want to end with a fragrance that I think I'm going to purchase a full bottle of. I liked it. I'm surprised that my husband liked it as well, on himself and on me. This is from Pierre, Guillaume, and it's called Le Musc and Le Peau. Not the extrait version. I haven't tried that. This is the regular version, Le Musc and Le Peau, the original. And that means musk and skin. And it does smell like that. And it also reminds me somewhat of like a lighter version, an even lighter, more skin scent version of another 13 from Le Labo, if you have tried that. So it smelled musky, bright, clean, very fresh, very airy. There was this airiness about it, a slight tinge of a metallic type of nature, and it had ambroxan. So there was this sort of like that molecular fragrance kind of feel to it. And I liked it. I thought it was delightful. It warmed up a little bit on skin. It seemed like one of those fragrances that you could wear anywhere. It would be liked by everyone. No one would be worried about your scent, but you would smell fresh and clean and airy to everyone in the room. And I really, really liked it. I was intrigued by it and kept spraying it on myself. It has a good deal of muskiness as well as light woodiness sort of combined into this beautiful fragrance. And so let me know if you've tried that as well and if you agree that it's a good one for this category. Also, tell us down in the comments your favorite musk fragrance that you think is great for this time of year. So please stay away from the overly heavy, imposing thundercloud kinds of musk fragrances and give us some light, airy versions that we could look into, sample, etc. I will list all of these fragrances down in the description box with links to shop, and I will try to pin them in the pinned comment too. I know that's helpful for some people that have trouble finding the description box. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Take care.